It's a time for pick it from China. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in this video we are going to take a close look at the GamePlayer 5.8-inch color screen game console, or known as the X20. Okay, for the people not familiar to the channel here, so I review a lot of these crappy handhelds, and sometimes there are like some decent ones between them. But the reason I'm searching the X handhelds, because it's quite interesting. They have a lot of different versions. The X-Series, I like to call them, always reminds me a little bit of the X-Men. But the X-Serie handhelds are like a budget, let's say, series of handhelds. Some are crap, some are good. So let's find out how good this one is, or how bad. So like I already mentioned, some of these X-Series handhelds are kind of weird. They are kind of bad, and most of the time are running on choppy or horrible emulation software. Sounds kind of weird, but there are some improvements here and there, but they're like not getting to the situation that we're saying, hey, this is a pretty damn good handheld for the money, because most of them like paying, if you just find them on the right channels, you're paying like $20-30 for them, depending of course what kind of model, because there are like 7-inch versions out there, IPS displays, those are of course more expensive. Okay, so let's take a close look at the specification list. So overall we're going to get a 5.8-inch TFF eye care color display. What is a TFF eye care color display? So in overall we're going to get an old school LCD display. That's just a fact, or a TFT I like to call them. 20 languages, they say you can run up to PlayStation 1, but it is more like a mixed bag, or it doesn't work at all. Especially when you're using the old school software on this. Then we're going to get up to 128-bit, so game support, arcade games. Same lie, because it will run, let's say, the basic Mame games. If you want to have like more demanding, forget about it. So then we're going to get the option for a controller. We can expand the memory with a 64GB CF card. Then we're going to get some options: support, browsing and resource manager. What the hell? Like browsing, nothing to do with the internet, there's no Wi-Fi functionality. USB 2.0 high-speed transmission. Since when is USB 2.0 high speed? That's like maybe in 2019 or something, when it was released, whatever. And overall what you're going to get, additional AV line, but it says here we're going to get the option for HDMI. So we're going to look it up, we're going to open it up, because I want to know if this thing actually has some freaking HDMI functionalities. Because that would be very interesting. Oh boy, they sent me the yellow one. Alright, so what are we going to get in the box? We're going to get a really cheap headphones. These things are not comfortable and don't sound very good. Then we're going to get a very nice quality Type-C connection for charging and data transfer. That's it. I would say like I want to have my toilet paper manual like always. Explanation of nothing. How does it work? What kind of music files can we add? And video playback supported up to 720p. Yeah, on an old school TFT. Then we're going to get the system itself, and I must say that it looks kind of interesting in many ways. Let me explain why. So first of all, this is not interesting, the D-pad. Like, they are still using the 4 buttons, no idea why they are using. Some of these handhelds have an actually good D-pad. The touch is okay. We're going to get shoulder buttons this time, very weirdly placed. Yeah, but you can reach them. Like, they are small, like I already had like bigger buttons, so they are not very easy to press. Okay, the 5.1-inch display over there. Volume control, on and off. Can we just turn it on and off? Or is it more like standby mode? Select start. At the top we're going to get the USB port, micro USB number 1. There is no control, so you need to have a controller that has this option for connection. Then we're going to get the TF slot, reset, and then we're going to get headphone jack out, the input Type-C for charging the device, HDMI functionality, so that's what we're going to try out, very interesting, and the USB 1. So what they wanted to do with this is that we can plug in, let's say, 2 controllers, and then we can play some things. Okay, overall, like, it comes with a Switch look-alike joystick, click is joystick too. So overall, very surprising. 1 mono speaker, as you get, the shell has the option for number 2, or the mold it has, but there is nothing much to say about it, only a mono speaker. 8GB internal storage, so that's not a lot. So let's turn it on. LED goes on here, and oh boy, I was right. Yep, they are using the same crappy software, because I can see it with the annoying, horrible display, and looking at it I can see, oh boy, I did see the Tekken logo, so that means like, or the Tekken picture, so that means like they're using the crappy software, but they changed something out, so let's take a close look at that. Okay, so they were not lying about the TFT display, like the view angle is really bad. So this is what you're going to get with the cheap devices most of the time. It's a little bit of a bummer in my opinion. So okay, so let's take a close look at the menu. In my opinion, it works slightly better than the previous model. They changed out the layout this time. Over here we can still have a recording for the audio or microphone. I have no idea why you want to put it on there. Browser. They're using the internet logo or Internet Explorer, but you can see like it doesn't do anything with the internet. It just go into the memory itself. Let's see what happens when we just choose download. Here we have built-in games, optional games. I'm guessing when you're using optional games, you can use it with the CF card over there. Like they make one big mess out of it, if you ask me. Recent run list, direction list. Like this thing, there are some couple of games you can play with it. We're going to test them out later on just to see how they will run. Let's go to the settings. If they change out anything over here, display. That's it, like the backlight can be changed. So let's do that. Ooh, no. Yes, how far can we go? Ooh, number 5, that is nice. No, no, no. I can also change it like that. Number 5 is the maximum, okay. Oh crap, and when you're pressing B, it will go back to 2. But you can see like the display itself goes very bright. But this is like the way how it goes with these Chinese handhelds. It's like the navigation is horrible and there is no freaking touchscreen. But let's put it on number 5 and let's go on. Okay, so that looks slightly better with some more juice to the LCD display. So we have a better backlight. Date, language, TV out options. So this is quite interesting that we do have the option for HDMI functionality with this one. Normally only going to get PAL and NTCS. So we're going to try out the HDMI functionality in later on part of this video. Let's choose advanced. The keytune can be changed out. Oh, that sounds kind of weird. I'm just going to turn it off. Effect settings. Cube rotate. And format the internal memory. You want to do that, otherwise you lose all of your data. So that's it, that's the only thing you can change out. And didn't even found any aspect ratio like we've seen before. So let's go to the game list and let's try out some games. Let's see how they are running on this device. Okay, so when you're looking at the game and you want to boot it up, before you can boot it up, and also when you're going back to the menu, we're going to get this menu. We can make a quick load, quick save. With the settings, here we can change out the screen size. The screen size is a messed up situation because when you're using scale of original size, sometimes it's going to get this very tiny. So there's not like an actual like aspect ratio 4:3 with this 60:9 display. So in my opinion, it's all messed up. And here you can see we're having different options when it comes to the controller. So it's quite interesting that it does have a support for this. Sound output, you can even shut it down if you don't want a weird situation, but let's boot it up. Alright, so first up let's try some Game Boy Advance. And what I'm noticing is that all the controls seem to be working just fine. And even for the mono speaker it sounds pretty good. Analog stick works. Okay, so let's see how the emulation of this game is. So when it comes to Mame, more like the basic game to run just fine. But what I noticed, like the analog stick is something I really need to get used to, but the D-pad or these 4 buttons are like really horrible. So when it comes to this platform, it will be mixed performance. I noticed like with the intro, is it's going to be sounding all messed up. Okay, so for the controls, it's going to be like a mess. I can do some moves sometimes. To find the buttons. See here you can see like I can do some moves, but I'm glad they added a good joystick to it. But maybe it's more like a personal handicap I'm having with it, but I'm not the biggest fan of this joystick. It's like a handicap, I don't know what it is, but I know that sometimes my moves don't come out easily. Okay, so they didn't lie. It seems to be working with PlayStation 1, but it runs really choppy, like basically unplayable. When you're trying some 8-bit, I mean 2-dimensional games, having a brain fart here. Don't forget to check out the Wicked Brain Fart channel. But when I'm trying some, let's say, 2-dimensional games, it will have better performance. But if it doesn't really run the 3-dimensional games like this, what's the point to add PlayStation 1? So the PlayStation 1, in my opinion, is just a no-go. Such a weird thing, and the audio sound is just great. But I have seen these performance before with an other model, because they are like reusing every time the software in a different shell. Like the X16, the X9, the X12, you name it, there are so many of these bloody things out there. Mega Drive seems to be working just fine, but when it comes to Super NES, you will see that it will not run properly or horrible in some ways. Sometimes the Chinese surprise me, and this is one of these times that they surprised me with the X20. Having HDMI TV out, oh by gee, I have asked this so much in my videos, can they not give you an HDMI functionality? And yup, they did. And it looks actually quite good. It's still not like high definition signal output, it looks kind of washed out in my opinion, but let's try some games and let's see how it works in the end. Okay, so this weird situation is going on, like the signal cable doesn't work that great. Maybe I need to use a different dongle, but let's try it like this. Oh, okay, let's see how the game plays. All the sound effects are here. So also for the NES part, it seems to be working just fine. Oh, nope. Where was the bump sound? Nope, they messed it up. Oh my gee, they messed up the freaking... Oh boy. See, the thing is, like with the NES part, they always seem to be messing that up. Gotcha! Yeah, it's more like a combination of this dongle doesn't want to fit in properly. But yeah, there is always something that messed up. Okay, let's do a quick teardown. I'm not going to do a completely teardown now, like ripping out the display. I just wanted to give you a quick look in the inside. Maybe you can see what kind of battery they're also using. Would not be surprised if they're using 4 screws and a lot of click plastic to keep the shell together. What I do like about it, the weight's quite heavy, this device, and the shell itself feels quite durable. So let's see if we can just remove it. Nobody already expected, so I need to get myself some prior tools to pry this bloody thing open. Alright, so what I did is that I pulled from the side of it very gently, and now I can basically click it all open. So this is the new way they are assembling these handhelds, like click them together. Alright, so let's be very gentle by removing these. Oh boy. Like I say, that is not going to look very pleasant. Alright, so let's see, so the buttons are stuck inside of the shell itself. Here we're going to get the mono speaker. I must say that thing is quite loud. The battery is very small, like it's not a big battery at all. There is a code on it, it says here maybe 2016, so this thing is already made a very long time ago. But it doesn't say what kind of capacity it is, but I would say it's not going to be very big. And overall, let's look at the specs. There are some chips over here. There's some information. Looked it up, couldn't find any information. But the same goes for all the other specs. There is no date when the PCB has been made. Everything has been resoldered together, like what you're looking at here, the speaker. And if you want to replace the battery, you need to resolder this too. But overall, there are some codes on it. If you look it up, you can find some more information. But just want to give you a quick peek in the inside and micro switches for the on and on switch. So let's put it back together. So I must say that the shell feels kind of good. It's like not a cheap China shell PS Vita knockoff that I have seen before, like when I started the YouTube channel and reviewed China stuff. But I must say that they are improving some things when it comes to the handhelds. And not only like the HDMI functionality, stuff like that. They try to improve it here and there, but you need to take consideration these are like the budget handhelds of China. If you want to get yourself like a good brand, you need to get something like Embernic, making very nice handhelds, but you're mostly paying like 4 times the money that you're paying for a device like these. The only downside I think the biggest downside is they're not improving it when it comes to the software. There we're going to get the bigger issue. So guys, that brings me to the final conclusion of the X20. I have this idea, they are listening. And I mean like listening, try to improve some things and still keep it budget. HDMI functionality seems to be working just fine. I maybe didn't get the right dongle or the converter for it. But in the end, like, it is there. Like, they have added finally an HDMI and not a crappy AV out, like we have seen before. Overall, like, the experience is the same with the first models. The emulation is mixed or like pretty damn horrible. PlayStation 1 doesn't run great. Super NES has issues. You know, like all these things I have mentioned before, they don't freaking just improve it. Like, slap some more or better some better performance in this device, in the hardware. Ask $5 more and get some better emulation, because this is just, again, another mixed performance device from our friends from China. But thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, hit that little bell, become one of the big family, and we'll see you in a new video.